Hey, Quad Bros, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here, and I hope you guys are doing well. Enlisted's 1-year anniversary is coming up here in about a month or so, so I figured now would be a great time to go ahead and go back and compile together all of my tips and tricks videos, take the best tips from all of them, and then also put in some new ones that I've learned over the past year or so, and give just an Enlisted in 2022 kind of thing for any new players that might be coming into the game. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a lightning round. We're going to blast through these as quick as possible. So if you guys enjoy the video, remember as always, like, comment, and subscribe because it does help me out. But without anything else, let's jump right into these tips, guys. And where else could we start but with the most important thing that you can do in Enlisted? Build rally points. So new players that might be coming to the game and don't know what a rally point is, a rally point is a buildable that you can construct with the engineer class. All you gotta do is pull out your hammer and then aim down sight, the equivalent of whatever that is on whatever platform you're on, and you get to choose what you want to build. You want to build this little rally point doohickey here, and this is the most powerful thing in Enlisted. That's right, it's not a tank, it's not a plane, it's not a gun, it is a rally point, the most powerful thing in the entire game. And the reason for this is because rally points let you spawn on them. That's right, your team can just spawn on this rather than the basic spawn. And what this does is basically get your team into the fight even faster than they could before. So you can build these 35 meters or 35, whatever the in-game distance calculator is in-game, from an objective, and it will get you onto the point that much faster. And it is the #1 way to increase the amount of games that you win in Enlisted. So get out there and make sure you guys are building these. Now, speaking of winning games and how rally points make you win games, remember that winning a game also gets you a nice little XP boost, about 50%. So build rally points, win games, get more XP, and level up faster. Next up, 2 quick tips for saving yourself some bronze orders. #1, your engineers are your most cost-effective soldiers in the game, so always pick them up when you can and always level them up first, because you never have to re-roll them, because they are always able to get plus 35% vitality because they've got plus 2 vitality perk points naturally. They're also always able to build rally points like we mentioned before, so they're very effective in the field as well. Now, tier 1 soldiers versus tier 2 soldiers. The difference between them is that tier 1 soldiers generally have a worse perk distribution, but they are twice as cheap to upgrade. So typically, it's not going to matter having those better perk points from the higher tier soldiers, with the exception of flame troopers or maybe assaulter 3s. So typically speaking, guys, you want to stick with your tier 1 soldiers. Next up, if you're caught choosing between a tank and a plane because you don't have premium right now, or maybe you just don't know if you should bring an extra tank squad or an extra plane squad with premium, I'm going to go ahead and go with tank. All right. Most of the time, for most players, especially new players, you're going to be a lot more effective with a tank than you are going to be with a plane. You're going to be better at dealing with infantry. You're going to be better at dealing with enemy vehicles. You're going to be able to do more damage to an objective and to a hard point than you are going to be able to do with a plane, generally speaking. Even an experienced and good pilot is going to struggle dealing with landing their bombs correctly. Sometimes bombs just are weird. They don't explode in the way that you predicted them to. They don't land where you thought they would. And so a lot of the time, you are just going to flop with a plane, while a tank is going to be a lot more consistent damage. You're going to do a lot better with it, generally speaking. And so if you're choosing between bringing a tank and a plane, I definitely recommend you bring a tank to deal with enemy vehicles, to deal with enemy infantry, to sit on a hard point, to lock down an area, so on and so forth. Planes are definitely something that you guys can explore as you continue playing the game and as you get more experienced. But if you're just now starting right off the bat, definitely go with a tank over a plane. Now, this tip is something that I think new players really struggle with, and it is simply play aggressively, okay? This is something that I see new players just fail to do constantly, and veteran players too, where they sit in the back of the map playing sniper, or they think it's hell let loose, and so they're crawling along on the ground. All right, guys, there's no reason you should be prone in Enlisted unless you are actively reloading and you're in cover and you're about to hop back up, or you're braced firing an LMG, okay? There really just isn't a reason to do it. hold shift, hold forward, hold sprint, whatever platform you're on, get to the fight as fast as you possibly can, because this is not Band of Brothers. This is not Hell Let Loose. This is not Saving Private Ryan, okay? This is Inglourious Bastards. This is Battlefield 5. This is whatever other weird analogy you want to draw. I don't really care. The point is, you guys need to play aggressively out there, okay? You need to rush the objective. Enlisted is not a game about moving tactically. I'm sorry if you came into this game with the impression that it was going to be, because it really isn't most of the time. Taking an objective in Enlisted is a lot more about brute forcing on to the point and wiping out everybody there with a grenade or an SMG than it is about moving tactically around the enemy and flanking them out or something like that, all right? All of that can be important, and just sprinting full speed at an MG nest is never the way to go. But just keep in mind, guys, a lot of this is about throwing bodies onto a point than it is about moving tactically and outsmarting your enemy or something like that, all right? So play aggressively, rush the enemy down. Even on defense, get to the fight and start mowing people down as best as you can, okay? Quick one here has to do with upgrading your guns. So make sure whenever you guys are in your upgrade trees and you're upgrading your squads, you go through these yellow trees, because you do need to get through all of these to be able to effectively and efficiently upgrade your weapons. You need to finish the tree to even be able to upgrade the gun to max level. And then there's these nice modification and exchange bonuses in there in case you want to get rid of it or upgrade it for cheaper. So you can see here, my Car 98K, that tree is fully upgraded. So I get a discount and a bonus for selling. So I can sell the weapon for 2 bronze orders, and I can upgrade the weapon for just 3. Now, if we go to this VZ, which is the same rank, 1 star, I sell it for just 1 because I haven't upgraded that tree, and I upgrade it for 4. So just remember to go through those yellow trees to efficiently use your bronze orders. And now the tip that started my YouTube channel: cook your explosive packs. All right, guys, when you're playing the game, you can hold down your trigger or left click or whatever you're using to throw your explosive pack or your grenade, and this will cook it. All right, it takes about 5 seconds or so to go off. 4 seconds is your max time for cooking, and then it will automatically throw. So you don't even have to worry about it blowing up in your hand. You need to do this for tanks because it will make it so much more effective for blowing up enemy vehicles, and it will make you more effective tank buster. It'll make it so enemy tanks will have no time to react, and then you will easily be able to score a vehicle kill and get a nice little XP pinata by cooking your explosive packs. It's also great for taking out enemy bunkers. It'll stop the AI from throwing explosive packs back, and you'll be able to net yourself a good amount of kills. So you'll see here, I'm going to pull out an explosive pack. I'm going to see the tank, pull out an explosive pack, cook it up, count it out, couple seconds, and then I'm just going to throw this. And this tank has no chance. I mean, there's no chance there for him to be able to get out of the way. And he just lost 3 crew members. Tank is basically donezo, and it was very, very easy for me to do that. So make sure you guys are cooking your explosive packs. Next tip here, guys, is about stripping your reserves. All right, so say I no longer want to use the 200th anti-tank battalion here, right? I've leveled them up. I don't really want to use them anymore for whatever reason. I want to go and I need to remove all of their gear. So I'm going to just move them over, and I can click remove unnecessary equipment, right? I'm going to remove unnecessary equipment, remove unnecessary equipment, and remove unnecessary equipment. And then now I want to put in some random low-level soldiers who are not upgraded and who are not great soldiers. And then now this is just a backup squad that I don't need. I'm not losing any gear. This is very important for whenever you guys are unlocking new squads in the game, or you are trading out old squads for those new squads, or just putting in a squad that you aren't actively using. Strip your reserves. You don't want a bunch of your squads that are sitting in these reserves that you're not even taking into battle having a bunch of gear and equipment that you yourself need for the battle. This is especially important if you're a free-to-play player. If you are struggling for explosive packs and you don't have enough explosive packs for your soldiers, that's because you haven't been going through and stripping your extra squads and your reserves as you unlock them. I bet honestly these guys probably aren't. Yeah, see, look, these guys, I didn't even go through and strip them. So I should go in, take this explosion pack, take this med kit, take this grenade, take this med kit, and then this soldier, right? Take this smoke grenade, take this med kit. This is free gear that the game is just giving. Give me this too, right? Here, take this stupid rifle. This is just free gear that I'm being given by the game. And so I should take advantage of that and strip my reserves and give this to soldiers who are actively in the battle. All right, so make sure you guys are going and stripping your reserves, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Next up here is an easy one, guys, and it is that higher unlocks do not necessarily mean more powerful. A lot of times it does, and don't get me wrong there, right? And MP43 is a very powerful weapon, but generally speaking, guys, a lot of the upgrades aren't really straight upgrades. They're more side grades, okay? An upgraded M1 Beretta from Axis Tunisia is going to be probably more effective, if not the same level of effective, as an MP35 or a weapon that you unlock later in the campaign, right? So if you're a low-level player, focus on upgrading your good, powerful weapons from the early game, and don't worry so much about not having those crazy late-game unlocks. I have a free-to-play account, and I do very, very well with using just upgraded M3 grease guns, because the M3 grease gun is a very good weapon whenever you fully upgrade it, and most weapons are, especially those early SMGs like the grease gun or the MP40, weapons like that. They perform very well when you upgrade them, and they're very cheap to upgrade, and they're very cheap to outfit your squads with. So guys, seriously, don't think that those upgraded weapons are going to just carry you through the game. Don't think that you have lost the game as soon as you load in because someone's got a high level on the other team. Those early unlocks can do some serious work. All right, guys, next tip here is about bracing, proning, and crouching while firing. So whenever you guys are running around the battlefield and you're firing at medium to long ranges, make sure you guys are crouching, especially with guns like the LMGs. Probably even need to be prone if you're firing at longer ranges, because this gives you a massive recoil reduction while firing. It also makes you a harder target to hit back, right? Because you're crouched, you're a little bit lower to the ground. If you're prone, you're even lower to the ground. So make sure you guys are crouching and proning whenever you're firing at long ranges. If you're using an LMG or really even any gun, don't be afraid to brace your weapon. The easiest way to do this is just by going prone on flat ground and hitting the brace key. On PC, that is default to B, although I do recommend you guys rebind that to something else. And this will just give you a massive decrease in recoil, and it'll make you much more accurate firing at long ranges. Very important for stuff like the LMGs in the game, because it will just make you be able to shred enemies who are unlucky enough to be in your way. So make sure you guys abuse that as much as possible. Crouching, proning, very good way to give yourself some nice recoil reduction and be able to take out many enemies at long range. Well, that's it, guys. Those are my top tips for Enlisted in 2022, at least for now, because as we know, Enlisted is a growing game. It is constantly changing and evolving. So I'm sure in the future I'll have even more tips. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you guys back here. Remember, you can also come join our community Discord. The link for that is down in the description below. And you can also come check me out, twitch.tv/HeyQuadro. I'd love to have you guys over there as well. Play some games with me, chat me up, and you know, see what other tips I'm doing without even realizing it. So without anything else, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.